Welcome back, everybody. I'm CJ.
I'm Brogan.
And we're finally back. It's been a couple of weeks, but we're back. We're in the same spots. We're wearing the same shirt. So we're going to bring you some good real estate content today.
Today we're going to talk about 3 common misconceptions when buying a home.
So grab some popcorn, maybe a drink, settle in, maybe a notepad, because we're going to bring you some good information here. All right, so today, buyer misconceptions. We don't necessarily know how these come about. It could be just through a rumor mill. Someone had a bad experience and is just telling everyone about it. But in some cases, or in a lot of cases, that's not really what's happening every time or for the majority of transactions. We're able to bring you this video with this information because we're realtors. We do this every single day. This is our job.
Yeah.
So we kind of know the ins and outs and some of the stuff that goes on. That's actually truly what's happening. And so today we'll hopefully shed light on a couple of the major misconceptions that people often are talking about or hear about.
So the first thing we're going to shed some light on today is going to be that you need 20% of the purchase price as your down payment. And that is completely false. It's completely false. So this sort of ties into finding yourself a good realtor, which we've talked about in previous videos. Having that good realtors, they're going to connect you with, most likely we have a top 3, usually one. Nick Haley, if you're watching, shout out to you. You're the man. They'll connect you and they'll inform you and lay out each of these different programs. So here in Wisconsin, we have the WIDA program, which 3.5%, sometimes even lower. With that, on tax credits, it gets pretty complicated. And that's why you have a lender to explain all those things. 5% first-time home buyer programs, which are incredible. I've utilized that myself. And being a real estate agent, you can use your commission, you get paid to buy the property. It's pretty awesome. And then it goes up from there. There are, of course, many more, but that is the first thing that we wanted to shed light on. You don't need 20% to actually buy a home.
Absolutely not. And I just want to iterate your point more of that. I'm working with clients right now, and everybody's situation is different, but we're working with a great lender and going through WIDA, and we can essentially get these people a property with 0% down out of their pocket. What they do is they then put a second mortgage on that 3% down, which would be a traditional FHA loan, and then that's kind of how they work back in. So you can get a property today, at least, with even 0% down, which is that's pretty different than 20% down, I'd say.
Yeah.
So the second misconception that we're bringing you today is that renting is cheaper than homeownership, and that's something that's just quite frankly not true, especially with the way interest rates are, with how low they are right now. You can really get a lot more for your money and start building equity in a home versus paying money to your landlord every month. So what sometimes people see in renting is that, well, I don't have to take care of anything. I just pay my rent and then they fix all the problems, whatever, they take care of everything.
Right.
So sure, that's super nice, but let's take, for example, a 2-bedroom apartment here in Madison. A really nice, just a conservative number, that'll cost you $1,750. So that's a good chunk of change. If you were to put that into a home, purchase a home for your same monthly payment on your mortgage, you could get over a $400,000 home for that at just a 3% interest rate for a 30-year mortgage. That's pretty crazy, and you're getting a lot more out of that over time versus just paying money into a 2-bedroom apartment. Here in this area, you can get a 4-bedroom house for that.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And then you have a lawn for your kids and everything like that. So I think that's a misconception and people don't fully understand. Obviously, it's contingent on what your personal financial situation is, but I mean, given if you have good credit, you have some good rental history and stuff like that.
And a good lender.
A good lender like Nick Haley, you can totally make that stuff happen, and you can be getting a $400,000 house versus a 2-bedroom apartment. So it's a really big difference, and I think it's really important to open people's eyes to that of, you could really get a lot more out of having a home than just paying rent every month.
So the third misconception we're going to talk about today is just because you're working with a realtor, especially on the buy end, doesn't mean you actually have to pay them. So when it comes down to it, if you're a buyer searching for a home and you're maybe scared to reach out to a real estate agent that's, they're going to fill up your inbox, they're going to be power dialing you. Most often that's not the case. And not only that, these people will help you find homes. They will sometimes even get you off-market deals, which is huge, especially in our local market right now.
We're good at that.
Yeah, absolutely. And basically what happens is the seller is actually paying the buyer's agent. So the buyer themselves does not have to pay anything towards the transactional fees as far as paying the agents. So The seller pays a full 6% or negotiated however they want to do it based on the seller's opinion, and then the buyer's agent will get paid from there. So nothing actually has to come out of your pocket, your personal pocket, to pay an agent to have a professional help you find a home. We think that that's a huge misconception, and it sort of maybe shies some people away from actually reaching out to somebody that they may know, or one of their top agents, and be like, hey, we want to find a home. Can you help us do that?
Totally. And I think that shouldn't be something that prevents people from jumping in the game and getting into home ownership, because that's a big step and it's really important, and it can really help you, build your future, and then also equity if that's something that's important to you as well. Yeah. Having a buyer's agent is really going to help make this big, confusing, frustrating process of buying a home. The buyer's agent, we're going to take all of that stress, the complicated paperwork, negotiation, all that's on us. And our goal here at the LeGrand Group is to make it feel like you're going on a shopping spree. Exactly. So we'll take all the stress out of it, and you guys just get to pick what you want, and we'll make the rest happen. So having a buyer's agent can be really, really beneficial to you, and you don't have to pay them a dime. So that's really awesome.
So super quick recap, we're going to go over the 3 misconceptions we talked about. Number 1 being you need 20% down payment on your house. And this is, we talked about in the video today, you can sometimes even get to 0% down, which is magical. It's a free house, basically. You pay your rental, and there it is.
Yeah, and then that leads right into number 2, and that's the second misconception, is that renting is cheaper than home ownership. And like we talked about in the video, especially with having a great lender, they can help you get really low payments that are comparable or even better to what you're paying in rent every month, but you're building up equity and you're owning something instead of just paying your landlord.
Absolutely. And then the third one is that you don't actually have to pay an agent out of your pocket. Not a single dime. The seller actually covers all of those fees. So that's our 3 common misconceptions in the home buying process, and we're out of here.
Yeah. Thank you guys. And subscribe, like the pictures, like the video.
Ooh, these are nice.